The central reason for why there was more of an effort to enforce the 15th Amendment in the South was because that's where the most African Americans, that's where the vote was, that's where the biggest challenges would come. In the North, on the other hand, the challenges were far fewer because the African American population didn't experience to the same extent the concerted efforts of those who would not want them to vote. Number one. Number two, many of the states and local governments were still pretty much under the influence of the Republican Party. So it would be an issue of benign neglect more than any kind of concerted effort to deny the rights of blacks to vote. There were a lot of blacks increasingly by 1872-73 who did not vote, even though they had the right to vote. And there wasn't any kind of effort on the part of Republican parties in many of those communities. It was not a priority for them to get blacks to turn out to vote. So you had sort of as I said, a benign neglect type of situation in the North because the sheer numbers didn't necessitate their inclusion in the polling as it did in the South. The reason why you don't see a lot of blacks moving to the North during this period, which is part of, I think, the question that you're asking, is that Reconstruction policies and the whole concept of 40 acres and a mule, which characterized the rehabilitation of freed slaves, freed men and women, was principally viewed as a Southern remedy. And it reflects the sense that the North did not see itself as the problem of the source of the race problem, that this was something that was going to be done to and by and remedied in the South. So you don't see a lot of effort to encourage African Americans to move to the North. That won't happen until the turn of the century, actually.